Angela Gashby, Jeff Harris, Rick Jennings, Sue Frost. Here. Don Natoli. Here. Susan Peters. Patrick Kennedy.
Here.
Phil Cerna.
Here.
We do have a quorum.
Okay, great. Well, we had a closed session. I just realized Holly's not back yet. Do we need her to report out?
I do need a report out.
Yeah, so she's on her way.
Shall we go ahead and consider consent matters?
She's coming. Ms. Gilchrist, I got a little antsy, so can you please report out from closed session?
Unclosed session, Government Code Section 54956.8, conference with real property negotiators regarding property at 5704 Surf Way, Sacramento, California, Sacramento County, APN 029021055.
The board voted unanimously for the staff to make an offer and commence negotiations.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Madam
you.
Clerk.
Our next item is consent matters, and items 1 through 6 are in order.
All right. Any questions on consent? Do I have a motion?
Move consent.
Motion by Mr. Kennedy, second by Mr. Jennings. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay.
Next, we have a public hearing, resolution number 2018044, approving the supplemental assessment roll and setting the fiscal year 2018-19 assessment rate for the Sacramento Area Flood Control Agency Operations and Maintenance Assessment District Number 1.
Great. At this point, Ms. Gilchrist, do I need to announce opening of the public hearing? So at this point, I'd like to open the public hearing for this item. Mr. Campbell, thank you.
Good afternoon, members of the board, Chair Abdus. Jason Campbell, Deputy Executive Director. Not Mike's, no. There we go. This item before you today is our annual review and public hearing for the O&M Assessment District. The O&M Assessment District provides funding for our O&M fund, which is our general fund, basically. The assessment district will, the roll will be prepared and submitted to the county assessor by the August deadline, and what we're asking you to do today is approve the roll.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell. At this point, I guess I would like to open it up for any questions of the board, but I think open it up for any public testimony. So at this point, members of the public wishing to speak on this item, I don't have any speaker slips. Anyone? All right, at this point, I'd like to close the public hearing on the matter. Any questions amongst board members? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Move it.
Moved by Mr. Holloway. Second by Mr. Conant. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right.
Thank you. Separate matters. Item number 8, authorizing the executive director to amend consulting services contracts for environmental services on an as-needed basis to support execution of SAFEGA's programs and project contracts with AECOM Technical Services, Environmental Science Associates, GEI Consultants, Inc., and ICF International.
Good afternoon, Chair Abdus, members of the board. My name is Casey Sorgan, Senior Natural Resource Specialist for SAFEGA. The 4 items before you today are proposed amendments for as-needed environmental consulting service contracts SAFEGA has with AECOM, ESA, GEI, ICF that your board approved in March of 2016. Since that time, these firms have been tasked with providing environmental support for several ongoing projects. Additionally, over the next 2 years, it is anticipated that there will be an increased need for additional environmental service supports services to support the projects that will be initiated as a result of the supplemental funding that was just awarded to the Sacramento region, which Mr. Johnson will be speaking to shortly. Staff is recommending that each contract is amended for an increased amount not to exceed $500,000. With that, I'll take questions.
Well, that's fantastic, and obviously eager to hear Mr. Johnson's report. We're all very excited about that incredible development on the supplemental funding. But with that, any questions on this item? All right, I will entertain a
I'll
motion.
move the item.
Ms. Peters, second by Mr. Natoli. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay.
Thank you.
Item number 9, resolutions authorizing the executive director to undertake contract actions related to SAFCA's 500-year flood protection planning efforts, entering into a memorandum of agreement between SAFCA and the Placer County Water Agency to promote cooperation between parties on matters of mutual interest affecting the Middle Fork American River project, and another resolution authorizing amendment to contract number 1389 with Stantec Consulting Services to include a reconnaissance study for dam outlet modifications at Hellhole Dam.
Mr. Bardini?
Okay, that's quite an intro. Good morning, or good afternoon, Chair Advis and members of the board. Gary Bardini, Director of Planning. Before you is 2 items. One is a non-binding agreement with Placer County Water Agency and SAFCA for exploring, or cooperation agreement for exploring improvements at Hellhole Reservoir. The second in front of you is then the consulting services to further that work by Stantec Consulting Services. Just as quick briefing to what's led to this is that over the course of the last few years, SAFCA has been pursuing increasing flood protection beyond 200 to 500 in the region. One of the critical elements is looking at how additional forecasting and res management upstream of Folsom Reservoir, along with improvements at Folsom itself with the Folsom Race, which was just approved under the supplemental. A combination of these items will go much further to increase the level of protection in the region. With that, there was an initial study done last year that SAFCA initiated. It was a contract with Stantec to look at what we call initial study of 3 reservoirs upstream, Hellhole being one of them. Through that study, it looked very promising to make modifications similar to that was done in Folsom to increase the outlet ability of the reservoirs, therefore increasing storage capability during a flood event. We've had positive conversations furthering that study, both with Placer County Water Agency, with SMUD, and with the Bureau of Reclamation to further the investigation and merits related to the projects. In the conversations with Placer County Water Agency, they've expressed a keen interest on furthering the investigation at Hellhole Reservoir for 2 elements. 1, the spillway itself and making modifications, and 2, the outlet structure that exists. Their motivation is not only to help with the flood control effort that SAFCA is doing, but also under FERC relicensing, they're under an obligation to make improvements already at the reservoir, and they see a real opportunity now to partner up. Under the MOU that they recommended that we do a cooperation agreement is that we would agree to furthering the study and cooperation and to have a consultant to their preference to carry out the work. They've asked us that we retain Stantec in carrying out the work. And so we've then put together then a scope of work before you to further that work. The scope of work is for 3 major items: continue the investigations related to the outlet structures, coming up with conceptual alternatives, and then moving to engineering evaluation, feasibility, and cost of doing the project. So with that, I'd be happy to take any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Bardini?
Move the item.
Motion. I have a motion by Member Peters, second by Member Kennedy. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Next item, please.
Item number 10, resolution number 2018051, adopting the mitigated negative declaration and mitigation monitoring and reporting program for the Magpie Creek floodplain conservation project and approving the project.
Good afternoon, Pete Gelfi, Director of Engineering. This action is tied to a program in which we had acquired over 35 acres in the Magpie Creek floodplain upstream of Raleigh Boulevard. This action here is our reclamation plan for that floodplain, which is a minimal activity. We want to, remove invasive plants, plant, species that would grow well on the site. And this environmental document covers that action. We only got 3 comments on the proposal. 2 of them were from governmental agencies. The other one was from SMUD. It's a pretty benign project, not much controversy associated with it, and I'd be glad to take any questions, but otherwise I would recommend that you adopt the mitigated negative declaration and mitigation monitoring and reporting program and approve the project.
Thank you, Mr. Gelfi. Any questions? Entertain a motion. Mr. Barandis, second Mr. Conant, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Item carries. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is the Executive Director's Report for July 19th, 2018.
Okay, good afternoon. Just a couple of things. First, Pete provided me some photos from the construction ongoing up at the North Area Streams project. So in this case, this is along Arcade Creek. There's a few of the areas where there's actually a flood wall on top of the levees. So we're needing to put a slurry wall in. We're not able to put it down the middle of the top of the levees like we normally would. So what you're seeing here is preparing to put down the slurry wall down towards the toe of the levee. This is another picture where you can see where they've started working on that. And then this shows a picture of some where the slurry wall's in place and they've covered it to protect it while it's before they cover it up there. This is some construction on the top of the levee where there's not a flood wall, so that we'll be putting the slurry down through the center of the levee. And this shows some of the construction on that slurry that's there. And finally, this is a picture of the batch plant that they use to prepare the slurry for the installation there. So we just wanted to share a little bit of the construction going on out there. If any of you want to go out and see it or a tour, just let us know and we can take you out there. Okay, I do want to talk a little bit about this. We had probably one of the most significant things happen in the history of flood for the Sacramento region just a couple of weeks ago. In February, Congress had passed an emergency supplemental bill of a little over $15 billion for the country. A little over $10 billion of that was for states that were affected by the 3 hurricanes. And then they put $4.6 billion in for other states that had flood emergencies since 2014. And so there were about 33 states that were eligible for that $4.6 billion in funding. The administration released the projects that were to be funded from the supplemental funds on the 5th of July, and our Safeco project's got about $1.8 billion of it. So just in perspective, that's 40% of the pot for the national average, or for the nation there. So American River Common Features, WARDA 2016 project was fully funded. We received $1.6 billion. And then the dam raised received $216 million, which was a full funding for that project also. So that puts us in real good shape. Natomas was already in the annual budget as the highest funded project in the country. And so we didn't have a funding stream yet for our other 2 projects. So this took care of those. And actually, I've been worried about them competing with each other, and this took care of that. So it helps those projects, and it also gives us opportunities moving forward on Natomas. So it was a big win for us. I put this together. We had already previously received $73 million in the 18 budget from the normal appropriations bill. So I put over in 17, we were in the 70s. We've been ranging between right around 80 million and 100+ million over the last few years. And so getting to the 1.845 billion for 18 is quite an increase there. Put it another way, I was trying to figure out how to make it relative. Since the '86 flood event, we've had 32 years of funding. We've put about $2 billion into improvements in the system in 32 years.
So with this funding from the federal government and the $170 million from the state in 1 year, we received what we've put into the system in the last 32 years. So
That's
it
incredible.
just kind of shows what the
blows your
significance
mind.
of that is. I do want to do some thank yous. First of all, Congresswoman Matsui just spent hours on this trying to help us. We had a lot of help from the Corps of Engineers at all the levels, both at Assistant Secretary of the Army's office, at headquarters, at division, and down here at the district. Our two senators helped quite a bit, and especially Senator Feinstein and her staff really got involved as she's on the appropriations back there. And then I got to recognize Mike Strawn, our consultant in DC. He spent hours and hours and hours working this. So in addition, I do want to thank all the SAFCA staff and the SAFCA board. A lot of what helped sell this is we've been pushing forward. We've got our projects in position, and we're ready to go, and so that made it a lot easier to compete for the funding there. So with that, I just will end it on that and take any questions.
Well, Mr. Johnson, I have to tell you, I think it's your large part in your leadership experience and vast insight that really positioned this project to get funded, or to get this funding. So you two should be commended. I mean, certainly Ms. Matsui's efforts as a tenacious advocate for flood control is incredible and well appreciated. Mr. Strawn and the folks at Dawson Associates, we very much appreciate it. This is an incredible occurrence. So anyway, thank you to all. And of course the folks at the Corps. Yeah.
Thank you. The remaining items are received.
Mr. Cerna, I'm sorry, I have a request to speak. Yes.
Thank you. So I'm glad the chair appropriately added emphasis to the thanks that's well deserved by especially Congresswoman Doris Matsui, her staff, and certainly our executive team. I don't know, well, certainly not in the tenure that I've had serving on this board, I don't think I've ever seen the Congresswoman in chambers with us. Certainly her staff has been here, but if possible, let's say in the coming year, if her schedule permits and that she's in town when we happen to convene, I think it would be very appropriate to invite her to chambers and give her a very distinguished thank you, and think carefully about how we want to do that. And I don't know that's ever happened in the history of SAFCA, that we have an active champion congressperson on the subject of flood control actually with us, so that we can thank them in person. But I'd like to see that happen.
Yeah, fantastic idea.
Great, thank you.
Great. Anyone else? Okay.
And the remaining items are receive and file.
Thank you very much, everybody. This meeting is now adjourned.